And good afternoon. Welcome to our weekly Penn State Field Hockey Zoom with head coach Char Morett-Curtiss. Char, we're coming off just a fantastic game against Maryland, and we have a shot to grab a share of a conference championship on Friday night. This is an exciting week. We're getting ready for the postseason, and frankly, our postseason has started, and it started last Friday.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit, decompress now a few days later after the excitement. That was an impressive performance. Pace, following a game plan, defense really stood up. Offense was on point. Penalty corner offense was on point.
Yeah.
Talk about it a few days later. What are your perceptions of it now, a few days later?
I've actually gone back to watch it again and just so impressed with the energy and the pressure we were able to get on the ball. Our press was phenomenal, the best it's been all season. I think just not giving them time to build up the play and then counterattacking was just so key for us. I also think it was just so key to respond when they scored first. So just the girls felt very, very confident going into the game that night, and just, a great crowd, standing room only, but they showed up, and just the energy came from all different places. The fans, our bench was amazing. And I think just, again, the focus on our shooting was really high, and then just great defense as well.
Yeah, the defense was fantastic. And I think one of the things we did, if you looked at the statistics heading into the game, Maryland hadn't faced a lot of shots. And boy, we pressured them.
Yep.
And that was a good sign. And I'm looking forward to how that now plays into the rest of the year. And if our offense, like you have said time and time again, we got to put the ball on the cage. We've got to be consistent on offense and finish the plays. And they did that Friday night.
Absolutely. You had four different players scoring.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that we're 6-1. Maryland has won a share of the co-championship, and the way the Big Ten does it, the Big Ten champion is dictated by the regular season. So we have a chance to be Big Ten co-champs if we go to Rutgers and win. Right. Rutgers is a good field hockey team. They have some great wins this year, and it's on the road.
Yeah.
You said you had practice yesterday after giving them Sunday off. What do you do? It's natural for anyone to have a bit of a after a win like that. As a coaching staff, how do you approach avoiding a letdown or getting the girls back on track? Or do you think they're already kind of getting there?
I think they're coming back. Yesterday, I felt like we didn't have a high intensity practice. We didn't schedule it that way.
Right.
Tuesdays is generally our high intensity practice, which will be today. So I think we just wanted to get them knocking the ball around, but still being competitive in what we were doing, focusing on some possession play, some defensive play. So we didn't make yesterday's practice overly tactical. And I thought they responded well. I didn't think it was off the charts by any means. I'm hoping that today's a little bit off the charts. Last week, we just had a phenomenal week of practice, and I believe the girls realized that. Laura and LB met with the captains this morning. I was at a stadium meeting, but they, the girls are real excited going into the weekend and what they can accomplish on Friday.
Rutgers, talk a little bit about Rutgers. They had a great season last year. They are a quality field hockey team. What concerns you about Rutgers?
Watching Rutgers play earlier in the year, they've just gone from night to day. They are so much more organized. They're much more dangerous. I feel that they have their players in the right place. They lost a lot to graduation. They lost the goalie to graduation, and she was, I think, a huge part of their success. But their goalie has now stepped up. She seems to be playing very steady. So I think that for us playing at Rutgers, we have not beaten them in a couple of years. So I think that's a good motivation for us as well to play our game. But we know going in there, it's going to be a battle for 60 minutes. Absolutely.
Yeah. You've got two girls who got awards this week. Mackenzie Alessi will be the Penn State Athlete of the Week. Talk a little bit about Mac's performance, and the casual field hockey fan, or the field hockey fan who knows the sport because a child plays it, looks at the penalty corner, and I'm not sure they understand just how hard it is to do what she does and what the other young lady who won an award this week did. Talk a little bit about Mac anchoring that penalty corner, feeding the ball in, and how important that is.
Yeah, Max got a lot of speed on the ball, and just that she's been much more consistent with her accuracy this year than last year. She's ready for a rebound in there. And I think Max play on the field has just been extremely dynamic, much more visible, much more attack oriented. But when we set up the corner, we feel really good because we have Mac or Grace can zip it out there. Can make the stop, and then you have Anna or Fia that can just put the ball in that, and at that point good chance they could
Pick
score.
your poison.
Yep, exactly.
And then so Elena Voss was Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week. She anchored the defense that just held Maryland to 7 shots, and then the 2 assists on the penalty corner. Talk a little bit about Elena's overall game and her skill at being the stopper there on the corner offense.
Yeah, Elena just she's kept improving week after week, not just with her play. She's always been that strong defensive player we have in the center of the field, but she has more of a voice. And I also think that she's putting more into offensive attacking play. So we love to see her play both sides of the ball. And her stick stop is just dead on. She can make that adjustment. She's got great balance. So we feel really secure when you set up for a penalty corner. But I'm so proud of both of them and the awards that they've received this week. I know this team, after they beat Maryland, they were just so excited, and we debriefed on Saturday morning. The excitement was still there, and I just feel that they played with confidence, and I think they gained even more confidence.
Yeah. And so what are your travel plans? What time will we leave on Thursday?
Thursday, we'll practice normal time and hopefully get on the bus around 5:15.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, look, I know it's a busy week for you. We have one special guest with us I want to bring in. It's Amanda DiNunzio. Amanda, welcome. If you can turn your camera on for us. There you are.
Good to
So
see
Amanda
you.
played here from 2011, 2014. Geez, it's surprising because I'm not sure she ever left the classroom. 3-time academic All Big Ten, 4-time academic All-American by the NFHCA, first team All Region. She was part of the team that won over 60 games and went to the NCAA tournament 4 years. So what an amazing period of time. Amanda, you were a huge part of that. And I want to thank you for joining us.
Yep, thanks for having me.
And she's a homegrown girl. She's a state college girl. So that, I had Amanda, I think, when she was in maybe 3rd, 4th grade, when she came to youth hockey, and just always knew her skill set was there and just pays attention to details. And, she really grew into such an amazing player for us, but she also went on and played for the US team and did some coaching with us, was on staff. And we really look at her as still on our staff.
Amanda, what, and I ask this of every alumni who comes back, but the answers tend to be similar, but there's always a different kernel in each one. So you're now on in your professional, personal life. What is that one thing that sometimes you're surprised that you look back on and go, oh my gosh, that's a trait I got from Penn State field hockey, or wow, that strength comes from Penn State field hockey? Is there a thing that you kind of look back on and go, oh, that's Char?
Yeah, gosh, many things. It's kind of hard to explain, but I think the one thing I got from Penn State is really learning, and it's gonna make me sad. It's, I don't know. Sorry.
You're gonna make me cry.
It just knowing that you have something that special to always look back on, and really knowing in your heart that gave you so much pride, and that you'll always have family back there. And it just gives a lot of things in life perspective, I think, because of how special Penn State is. And God, you just compare everything to it. And, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but a lot, too much.
Too much.
Yeah.
So not one specific thing. Well, that's great. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Char, beyond her play on the field, what do you remember about Amanda that made her stand out, not even as a player, but otherwise?
Well, she's so much fun to be with because she's just a real person. She has no ego about her. She's very, very humble. She's a hard worker. She could give me, when she came on our staff, perspective of the players. There is obviously a little bit, the age gap keeps getting wider and wider. But what I loved about Amanda, even when she came back to coach, is that she would she wanted us to continue to keep challenging the players. They've got to, stand up to the legacy that's been created here, all the championships that have been won, all the wins that were, on the field, to set high academic standard. That was always about she and so many of her teammates, being a classmate with Laura Gephardt as well. Like, they took so much pride in not only did they succeed on the field, but also, in the classroom. And then just being involved with Don and so many different things in the community. It was just a very giving class, I would say. Passionate.
And Amanda, did you find, being a student athlete it's cumbersome, but it's so rewarding that if you take advantage of the moments that are offered, the rewards pay off both in the moment and later on in life. Did you find at the time that it was overwhelming at all?
I think at the time you're kind of just like, it's all so
Right.
It's just kind of normal. So sometimes I look back on it and I'm like, how the heck did I do all that? Like, I don't think I've ever been busier in my life, and right. I don't know. It's, so it's cool to look back on, but I think, we have such a high standard at Penn State, and you're not just excelling on the field, you're excelling in the classroom, you're doing things outside of athletics, building relationships with your classmates, your professors. So gosh, I really don't think there's like anything else in life that you can experience like that. And it definitely set me up for success, now in my professional career. But yeah, man, sometimes like when I have a tough day, I'm like, you used to get up and run, 30 laps in multi-sport and then go to class and then, go give a speech. And, so it was, definitely teaches you a lot.
Well, then let's expand upon that personal professional life. Catch everyone up. Talk to us about Amanda right now. What are you doing?
So right now I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I work as a sport performance coach. So I train a mix of athletes and then just general fitness.
Awesome.
And I work closely alongside, we're like a blended healthcare facility. So I work closely with our chiropractor and physical therapist.
Oh, nice.
And then I'm actually starting to work a lot more with, we have a lot of PGA golfers that come into our gym. So, but I think I can find that connection just because it is a rotational sport. And I think even though I've only golfed a handful of times, sometimes they're surprised. I'm like, okay, I can swing a golf club.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing right now. And then I live with my boyfriend here. He played ice hockey at Penn State.
Okay.
So, and then ironically, like 3 doors down, Casey Hagley, now Casey Glenn, lives here. She was in my class at Penn State. And her husband, David Glenn, played ice hockey at Penn State. So we have our little Penn State family here.
Yeah,
that's great.
Cool.
So it is really special. And so, can't complain about the weather here in Vegas. That is the one thing I really like. So
that's awesome.
Any more Penn Staters out there?
You mean, no, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Not right now. Yeah.
They'll come.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
Yeah. So.
Well, look, we have to let Char get going. So Amanda, I want you to stay put.
Okay.
We're going to bring in our special guest, Kelsey Love, another State College kid who I'm not sure. And I'm curious, was Kelsey in and around the field while Amanda was a player, and might there have been interaction there with little Kelsey running around? That'll be fun to revisit. So we'll do that. But Char, thank you. I know we got a real important week coming up. Look forward to watching 3 p.m. Friday, folks, Big Ten Network. So let's get ready for it.
Sounds good.
Char, if you want to go get Kelsey, thank you.
And LB's number was 33 as well.
Mhm.
There we go. All right, I'll get Kelsey.
Awesome. And welcome back, everyone. We're joined by junior back Kelsey Love. Kelsey is State College native, just like Amanda. She's a mechanical engineering major, 2-time academic All-American, and an FHCA academic All-American. She's played in nearly 50 games already and started about all of them. Kelsey, thank you for joining us in a busy week.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Well, we're glad to have you. We're joined by another State College native, Amanda DiNunzio. And Amanda, I want to give you a second here before we let you go. Tell us about any interactions you may have had because Kelsey's mom is a coach, that you remember of Kelsey perhaps being in and around the program as a younger version of herself?
Yeah, gosh, I remember definitely, coaching camps. And then I feel like I have this like vivid memory of LB bringing like Kelsey and Taylor around and, just like walking through like that East area locker room parking lot area and them always kind of being around like little tailgates and things. And like, I feel like I can picture them both like really little and like Kelsey's little face. And then all of a sudden it's like, it's kind of crazy now. Like, cause I don't even know what age that would be, but I feel like I picture Kelsey like at that age. So it's really cool to see. And, I'm really glad that, she's even more a part of the Penn State family now. And because it really is something special. It's unique coming from State College, but it still is, it's so different when you're actually a part of the team. And, we've had so much pride growing up watching the program. So it's really cool, really special.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Amanda. We're going to get to let Kelsey get to some questions here and let her get out to practice. But I want to thank you for joining us from Las Vegas. We really appreciate having the alumni come in, and thank you so much for taking the time today.
Yep, you're welcome.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All right, Kelsey. Big win Friday, big week ahead.
Yep.
How the defense was as good as it's been all year on Friday. I mean, holding Maryland to 7 shots, they were frustrated. Their sideline was frustrated. The players were frustrated, and we just kind of stood firm. Could you sense something? They scored early first, but we didn't seem to hiccup, and it wasn't even it was like a shrug. Okay, well, whatever. Did you sense something as that game was playing out that you kind of had an answer for them defensively in the moment?
I feel like just our preparation the whole week, like we were really confident going in. So like when they scored that first goal, it was early in the game. So we like knew if we just stuck to our game plan and like had strong defense and like carried that into the attack, then we would be fine and that we'd be able to come back like we did.
Well, no doubt. And how looking back on that game now, we're 4 days removed from it. Do you feel like you've turned the page? Because we've got that game is as important as it was. Friday's the game that's even more important now. And have y'all turned the page now? Are you ready to roll?
I think we're just trying to carry that momentum and have another like great week of practice so that hopefully we can execute just as well against Rutgers, because as you said, it's another huge game. Every big game is a huge game, but there's a lot on the line for this one. So
let's look at Rutgers. Have you had any chance to do film work on them yet?
I actually watched their game against Maryland the other week and then against Syracuse. They've definitely really been giving everyone a run for their money. So
yeah, they've been infinitely better second half of the season. What do you see from them on film that you want to be kind of ready for? What's that one thing that jumps out? Maybe do you go, okay, that or that or that?
I think that what I noticed is they definitely pack the circle. So we just need to like make sure we're still keeping the ball moving. And then when they do break out, just being ready on the defense as well, because they do have a good counterattack. And then also their corners, they've been scoring a lot on corners. So it's just important to like not give up corners and then have good corner defense as well.
And the last question I'll ask you about on the field stuff, this defense has really gelled like exceptionally well. And I mean, we've got you and Jerry and Elena and Anouk and Fia Menino when she's in, and just kind of everybody, y'all know each other. And I think we're starting to really see the synergy between players who know each other a lot. Was there a point this year where it began to really click for you, or did you think that the defense kind of had that from the start? Talk a little bit about coming together as a unit.
So I think that we definitely have like improved a lot as a unit, because we also all played together last year as well. Our defense is pretty much, I think, the same. So we've had a lot of time to grow. I think we're like starting to pick up on each other's like habits of like offensively and defensively, and like definitely getting better at like double teaming and like communicating to each other of when like to go or hold back, and just like everything's clicking a lot better now. I
Right.
would say. Yeah.
So let's leave the field hockey alone.
Mhm.
You are a mechanical engineering major. Is that still correct?
Yes. Yes.
And as junior, will you have a full academic year ahead of you next year?
No, so I'm graduating this year. I'm not sure
Nice.
what I'm doing next year, but I do graduate in May. I'm planning to.
Nice. Very, very exciting. And so
Mhm.
career-wise, do you plan on when you're done playing field hockey and when you decide, you have the opportunity to come back next year, should you choose it? Are you looking grad school or is it right into the workforce?
I'm not sure. I've been thinking about it, but I had an internship this past summer that went well, and I don't know if I want to go something that way or not, or grad school or like a certificate like some people on our team are doing. I still have
Yeah.
to think about that, but
You got time. That's awesome.
exactly.
All right. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Great job. And I'm looking forward to, like I said, Friday, 3:00, Big Ten Network.
Yep.
This is it. Let's go win a share of a title. You all
Yep,
deserve
yep,
it.
definitely. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you, Kelsey.
Yep. Thank
All right,
you.
get out to practice. Bye-bye.
See ya.